my mom and I were talking yesterday, and I thought it was really cool that growing up, I was always more of the maximalist child. I wanted to keep everything. I was positive I'd use it. I just liked having the things. Everything was important. As I grew up, this slowly changed, especially the more times I moved and had to pack and move everything. About a year ago, I loaded everything I had up and left Arizona, and I went home and was trying to figure out what to do with my life, where I wanted to go, what I needed to do. And in that process, I ended up living in a camper trailer for a little while and had to downsize to fit in that space. A couple months later, I had been praying about it and figured out that I needed to move out east, which is a big process from Utah. And through that process, decided I was getting out of the trailer and I was only bringing what fit in my tiny little car, which was a huge downsizing process. I did keep a couple of totes worth of things in a shed at my mom's house. But I wasn't going to store just random stuff that was easily replaceable. So I had to go through everything. And during that process, I sat with my oldest sister. She kept me company and was right there being like, every time I'd hold something, she'd be like, actually, you don't really need that. Or maybe that one's a little bit harder to replace. Go ahead and keep that one. She'd sit there while I shared the memory with somebody of why I had this one or why this thing mattered. Or like what was important about it. And sometimes just from sharing that experience with somebody, walking through that, it was enough. And then I could get rid of it. It would bring somebody else joy. Somebody could get it at the thrift store. Somebody else would need it and I could move on. And honestly, a year later, I don't think there's anything that I got rid of that I was like, oh, I wish I had kept that. There are a handful of things I've had to replace. But the reason I didn't keep those was because I was moving cross country and it would just be easier to get it on the other side of the country than try to pack that into my car. As I have settled in here, I don't have a lot of things in my house, which is really nice. But occasionally, like, I go through my clothing and I'm like, I haven't worn this since I moved out here. I don't need it. And I'll get rid of more stuff. And it seems like even when I have very little, I'm constantly being like, I don't need this. I don't use this. This isn't actually helpful. And getting rid of more and more stuff. My mom and I are making plans to go through all of the stuff that I left there and see if any of that is stuff that's still worth keeping. Or did I keep it because I had gotten rid of so much? And I think it was important for me to realize that it's okay to have said, well, it was important to keep. But I've gone through so much healing in the last year. I've gone through so much that I no longer have the attachment to those things. Or I can save those memories in different ways. And it doesn't have to be a one time, oh, I kept this, now I have to keep it forever. It can totally be I kept this. It helped. I worked through that and now I can get rid of it. So it's been a multi-step process, but it's been really cleansing for me to be able to go through and realize each time that there's something new that I can get rid of, or that there's an entirely different style of things that I like. And I've had some amazing, supportive, helpful people along that I really do appreciate. And it's been a great journey, and I'm loving where I'm at now.